He told me it's an honor to be on this stage. And Brad, you just mentioned it. He said they're ready to bring back some big boy football. And guys, I'm guessing if Auburn wins, he might have a new favorite memory.
That's for sure. I like how he corrected me when we talked to him the other day. I said, you went 2-1 against Alabama. He said, no. Went 3-1 against Alabama. But he didn't play in one of those.
I know,
games.
but he's on the team.
He was on the team.
And that leadership has carried over at, as I said, perfect guy. No one else in the world could have done this right now, bringing back that pride for Auburn. And those players believe, I'll tell you that.
No doubt. Gloomy day for this 87th edition. Alabama's won 5 straight in the series at home. And when Auburn is unranked, Alabama usually does not lose to them. But today, anything can happen. Auburn won the toss. Or Alabama won the toss and deferred. So Auburn's going to get the football first. And the Iron Bowl is underway. At the 7-yard line is Jarquez Hunter. And Jarquez got across the 20 to about the 22. That's where Auburn will start offensively. So it starts with Robbie Ashford. Wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year. And his legs is what really makes him a dangerous threat. And Gary mentioned that the special teams and maybe the extra rusher in this guy to go with the 2 tailbacks could be the difference. Transferred from Oregon. Native of Hoover, Alabama. And Jarquez Hunter in the backfield with him to start things off. And movement right away.
They probably practiced their first play 10 times all week.
That wasn't the way it was supposed to go.
And they blew it. You know, it was a special play. It was in their sequence and a little too much noise. That clap did not penetrate at all, did it?
So the left tackle and Shanker, the tight end, both took off early. And it puts Auburn behind the sticks. On a 1st and 15.
Are they going to run the same play again?
Looks like it. And it's a quarterback draw. And Ashford gets collared at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to hide from Jaheim Otis.
A year ago, that Auburn front 6, the 4-down linemen and the linebackers controlled the game. And this Alabama front has been challenged. Can you do it this year?
Tank Bigsby in at tailback with Shanker, the tight end, set up as a fullback in the eye. 2nd down at 15. Toss to Bigsby. The lead blockers in front, and Tank gets part of that penalty back. We approach a 3rd down as we take a look at our Papa John's lineups. And John Samuel Shanker setting a school record today. This is his 62nd game in an Auburn uniform.
Amazing.
He was the lead blocker on that last play for Tank Bigsby. And now it's 3rd down and 7. Auburn comes in 37% on their 3rd downs. From the 24. Ashford. Here comes Anderson. He got a piece of the ball, and it flutters to the Alabama sideline.
It did, but it did cross the line of scrimmage, and he was out of the tackle box. So it is not intentional grounding. Not a good series for Auburn. Started out with the illegal procedure. They got behind the chains, and number 31 has come to play. Well, he always comes to play.
He does.
Yeah.
So punting situation on the opening offensive series for Auburn. Kool-Aid McKinstry is back waiting on Chapman's kick. High and over end. McKinstry's got to call a fair catch and takes around the 34-yard line. So Alabama takes over offensively for the first time today, led by the guy we talked about in the open, a Heisman Trophy winner from a year ago, having another sensational year, but of course hurt his shoulder earlier in the season and has missed some time. The top 3 in passing yards and touchdowns in Alabama history. Comes in with over 7,600 yards passing, 72 touchdown passes, including 25 straight games with a touchdown pass. He's been a fun guy to watch. And he lines up with Jahmyr Gibbs in the Alabama backfield on 1st down. Gojo Earl in motion. It is Jahmyr Gibbs off the right side. Gibbs with a big opening and a big run of 13 to open things off. He's missed a couple of games, been nicked up, healthy, and they said we're going to use number 1 a lot today.
Yes, we didn't see him in the whole second half, and then he did not play last week against Austin Peay Coats. Bill O'Brien told us he could have played had they needed him. They wanted him to rest one more week, and as Ness said, they said, we're going to feature him.
Latu, the tight end in motion out of the backfield. The throws over the middle, and it's a little too far in front of Jermaine Burton. As we take a look at the Papa John's offense around Bryce Young. Jace McClellan, we'll see a lot of him as well, coming off a career game last week with 156 yards on the ground in that Austin Peay game that Gary just mentioned. So nice to have a 1-2 punch back and healthy with Gibbs and McClellan. 2 tight ends set. Robbie Oots and Cameron Latu on 2nd and 10. Gibbs left side, and he pops one off that side as well into the 46 of Auburn. And their defense, they brought him down there. This Auburn defense has played a lot of football together, and Derek Hall, one of our favorite players, he had a monster game last year in the Iron Bowl matchup with Alabama.
The story of the first half was 5 sacks, but minus 2 yards total rushing. You can see the commitment. Alabama wants to run the ball early here. This is front for Auburn.
McClellan in there now with Gibbs having picked up big yardage out of his carries. This time it's Bryce Young to throw, scanning the field. Now has to run for what he can get. Run out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage. Colby Wooden ran him out. Nobody open.
So we opened the game saying that there might be a path. Well, the path is getting clearer, Ness. South Carolina knocked off Clemson.
Wow.
And Michigan is pulling away 38-23 with the ball with 4 minutes to go.
Remember, Alabama's number 7 or were in the last college football rankings, so they're going to start rising maybe if things fall in.
But that lead is getting bigger. It's 45, and that means the Big Ten might not get 2.
A lot of interesting football left, that's for sure.
As we said, college football last 2 weeks.
Burnip couldn't quite keep it out of the end zone. Auburn will have it for the second time when we come back. Lights on CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 Sports News Network. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. You can catch Gary with the HQ gang after our game is over this afternoon.
I love competition with huge consequences. And we're just saying, oh, the path might be, there might be a way for Alabama, but that Auburn team is sitting right in front of them on the path.
That's right. Alabama defensively, as you look into the eyes of Will Anderson, here's the guys that join him. Byron Young, one of the seniors, is playing lights out lately. We were talking with Pete Golding about him. He said, I don't know, he's taking it to another level. I don't know if he's trying to impress the scouts or if he's just playing that hard because it's going to be his last couple games in an Alabama uniform. But he's been really, really good this season, especially the second half of it. First down, second possession for the Tigers from the 20. Robbie Ashford sets, throws short over the middle. Hunter with the catch, but he's dropped right in his tracks. Only got about a yard out of that. Deontay Lawson made the tackle.
You don't see a lot of blitzing against Auburn. Robbie Ashford has only seen it 16% of the time all year and does about the same versus blitz, man-to-man, and zone. So you can see Alabama dropping a little more zone and challenging whether Robbie can read the defense and deliver the ball to the right guy.
Ashford comes in, only completing 49% of his passes. He's going to take off here, and now he's got an opening. This is what he does well. Robbie Ashford, about 25 yards before he's run out of bounds. Big play for the quarterback of the Tigers.
Well, we visited with defensive coordinator Pete Golding with Alabama yesterday. Walks in all comfortable, and then we bring up the broken plays by Robbie Ashford. It looked like he saw a ghost. He said, yeah, that's what worries me more than anything. He drops back and does it. Alabama fans have been watching that story for 14 years around here.
Got it out to the 45-yard line. First down, Auburn. Tank Bigsby looking for some blockers and got him. And Tank goes over the midfield stripe to the 49 of Alabama.
Looked like maybe Was there a face mask at the end of this play? Yep. Could have been called. I don't see a flag, though.
No. Should have been. Pickup of 6. Second down of 4.
I don't know if I'll need a shower after, but I'm sure Cadillac will need a shower after this game. He works hard on that side.
He really does. As if he was still playing.
I'll tell you, if they get a run down that sideline, he runs right with them.
They're going to have to call a timeout. That's kind of a waste in the opening 5 minutes of the game. So we'll take a break with them. A second down and 4 in Alabama territory with Robbie Ashford, who is 4th in the country for quarterbacks in attempts and 8th in yards. 5 rushing touchdowns. We've already seen him rip off a 25-yard gallop today. And on their second possession, Auburn in Alabama territory. Tank Bigsby avoids 1 tackler and somehow got to the corner to get the first down. Had 3 Alabama defenders that looked like they were going to drop him for a loss, led by Eli Ricks.
It was a free rusher coming from the outside right here, and Bigsby just makes him freeze. Goes right around him. Bigsby leads the SEC in yards after contact, but you can't even add it there.
No.
Nobody touched him.
That was yards after whiff.
Yes, a new stat, right?
First down at the 41. As the numbers for Tank last week, over 100. So was Jarquez Hunter, as Gary said earlier. Ashford fires, incomplete, flags down. Going to have an interference, it appears.
I think there was 2 flags on the play.
Ricks is going to get one of them.
At the end with interference.
But there looked like there was another one earlier, right?
I don't know if somebody lined up off sides, but it appeared like the flag went out immediately, and then they added another flag.
Ken Williamson's our referee.
2 fouls on the play, offside, defense number 31 will be declined. Pass interference, defense number 7 will be accepted. The penalty will place the ball in the spot of the foul and includes an automatic first down.
So Will Anderson guilty of the offside.
So Eli Ricks, who was missed with a concussion. We missed some time. First play of the game we did against Ole Miss was out the rest of the game. But 2 big plays. He misses the tackle when he's in the backfield, and then he's got pass interference to help the drive along for Auburn.
Auburn's worked it to the 26 with that penalty. And another first down. They had a penalty on their opening snap of the game and went backwards and had to punt, but now they got something working here on their second offensive series. Little toss. Bigsby. Short gain for Tank. We know a lot of you were watching Michigan and Ohio State. We welcome you to Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Michigan a 45-23 winner over the Buckeyes. Welcome to the Iron Bowl, the 87th edition here. And so far, Auburn, a heavy underdog, led by an interim coach in Carnell Cadillac Williams, has got something working here against Alabama's defense. We know a lot of you were watching Michigan and Ohio State because, quite frankly, all of us were as well. Ashford off the right side, Robbie Ashford. He might score. He does. Touchdown, Auburn. Jarquez Hunter was leading the way in the backfield. And a 24-yard touchdown run.
It may come back, though, Ness. It may, because you know how they lunge, their knees go down right as they hit the goal line. Remember, the ball only has to break the plane. It doesn't have to hit inside the goal line. But this is what I thought Auburn needed in this game. The running of Ashford, his knees do come down. Now, where is the football when his knees come down?
We take a look from the pylon cam from the far side, and yeah, he might be down.
Yep, just short, I believe.
Otis was trying to bring him down. He wrapped him up, and let's see, he stretches.
No,
oh,
touchdown.
His knees never hit.
Yes.
That's what you call laying out for the score.
And that's what you call calling it correctly the first time you called it.
Touchdown, Auburn.
I think he is.
And they're going to look at it, but Gene Steratore is with us, our rules expert from New York. Gino?
You guys nailed it. What a great job by Ashford of laying out and straightening the legs to not let any part of the lower leg.
Being down, therefore, the result of the play is a touchdown.
I couldn't have said it better, fellas. Great play by Ashford and a touchdown after review.
So we just mentioned earlier he had 5 rushing scores, and his 6th one's about as pretty as you can do it.
Really liked the way replay wrapped it up quickly. Quick look. Let's see if the ball, Brad and I right away saw it. I'm sure the replay official saw the same thing. Boom, get it out there. Let's play football.
What a drive for Auburn.
And that timeout was timely, you know. And as you see, the point to the head, over and over, Cadillac Williams points to his head to his football team. We'll talk about that a little later. It's a great message to his football team.
Alex McPherson in for the point after. Up and good. Well, what a way to get things started for Auburn on the road against the 7th-ranked team in the country. Gary called this in the beginning. Get a 3rd guy involved running the football. Number 9 knows how to do it. 7-0 Tigers.
And when Auburn has won, they've had a pretty good runner in this game. We were here for the comeback, Vern and I, Ness, and we saw a performance he put on in this stadium. Nick Marshall with his legs, even Stidham was struggled in for that touchdown for him. So
and now Ashford today, a 25-yard run first, and then a 24-yard touchdown gallop. High short kick. It'll be taken at the 19 by Ja'Cory Brooks. Made the first guy miss. And Ja'Cory gets out around the 35-yard line as we take you back to the touchdown.
Nass, it wasn't all the quarterback. Hunter, Shanker, and Luke Deal, the 3 key guys, all get a key block. I don't know if you watch them all together. Tight end hooks. Hunter gets one, and Shanker seals off the inside linebacker. That's what creates the space. You run right at the edge of this Alabama defense, and 3 guys get their block. It works.
There you see the numbers for Robbie Ashford. For Auburn freshman, Cadillac's name in there as well from 2001. Now playing from behind, which is something that Alabama isn't necessarily used to. And Bryce Young comes up throwing to Latu, and too low.
One of those RPOs, Bryce Young is, got a lot of options on that play. A catchable ball, but those big guys, those tight ends, hate the ball below their knees like that. They don't bend as well as those little receiver guys.
Bryce 0 for 2 throwing the football so far. 2nd down and 10. Gibbs and McClellan both in there. As you see Gibbs settle in motion. And in a slot on the right side, Young loads. And going long. Got a man there. Burton's got it. Jermaine Burton. All the way down to the 11-yard line.
What a delivery. Pretty good protection. Allowed Young to move up in the pocket. And you get one guy deep, and you've got it. As long as you have the time to throw this, you can set up. That safety was 20 yards deep, and he still set him up for the deep ball.
52-yard strike, and then Bryce gets run over after letting that one go. But they've got it 1st and goal right at the 10. McClellan, a tough yard. That's about it. So we had big plays by the Auburn quarterbacks and legs, and then a big play off the right arm of the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. And the Tide threatening here at the 9-yard line. 2 tight ends in for Alabama. McClellan in the backfield with Young. Isaiah Bond, the freshman, in motion. It's McClellan, left side. Taking tacklers with him inside the 5 to the 4. 3rd and goal.
James McClellan is not known as a big back, but he has been an effective back running in traffic, and he's put power back into this Alabama running game. They're using Gibbs more as a finesse back now, and it's McClellan and Williams for those tough yards between the tackles.
So 3rd down and goal. Just inside the 5. As you look behind Bryce Young and the Alabama offense. 3 receivers set down to his right. He's looking the other way, however. Now buys himself some time. He's going to head to the sticks himself and trot in. Touchdown, Bryce Young.
First touchdown Bryce Young has scored in 6 games on his legs. He's not been doing that lately, but he got a great block from his right tackle, J.C. Latham. Watch the block right here to really free the quarterback on the play. Gets an inside rush, and he takes him. Auburn loses containment, and that's not what you do with this guy. He trots in.
AT&T 5G pylon cam number 9's coming right at you. 5-yard touchdown. Will Reichert in for the point after. Up and good.
2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. 62 yards in 5 plays. A big chunk off his arm, and then a 5-yard run for number 9. Where he's a touchdown run. There they are. 2 number 9s. Will Reichert has it teed up. Jarquez Hunter waits back at the goal line for Auburn. That extra point by Will Reichert gives him 411 points in his Alabama career. And his kickoff sails halfway through the end zone, so Auburn will bring it out to the 25-yard line. That's time for our Hometown Connection presented by T-Mobile. Here's Jenny.
Being from Hoover, Alabama, Robbie Ashford, he grew up watching the Iron Bowl. His family outnumbered by Crimson Tide fans, though. So how did Ashford wind up liking Auburn? He told me, I just wanted to be different. He was around 4 years old when he decided to support the Tigers. He was even sporting a nice Bo Jackson jersey. You see an adorable picture with his grandfather, Robert, there showing off his school pride. Ashford did say, despite the fandom, his family is rooting for his success today, but maybe not his brother-in-law, guys. Former Alabama D-tackle, 3-time national champ, Damian Square. The rest of the family, though, cheering him on today.
That's great. Great stuff. Robbie with the toss here to tack Bigsby. Alabama stretching it out and buries Bigsby for a loss. Eli Ricks takes him out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Jordan Battle, the safety, did. The end man on the line of scrimmage. Dallas Turner does the same thing, buys time. Good flow inside out by Latham, number 93. That's the kind of defense that Alabama wants to play against that toss.
Loss of 4. Empty backfield on 2nd down at 14.
Here comes Bigsby back to fill it up. Not quite.
They're going to throw it to him out in the flat. See if they can make somebody miss. It's not going to happen. Brian Branch, good open field tackler, brings him down. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Was a little bit of a question of how much would we see Brian Branch, because Auburn likes to use the tight ends in the running game, but when he's in there, he is very physical.
Toss to Bigsby. Not going to get to the edge. Run out of bounds at the 25. It'll be 4th down.
Do get the feeling that if Alabama gets any play to get Auburn behind the chains, it's going to be very difficult for Auburn.
Getting a little chippy, and the coaches and the officials trying to separate everybody.
I think good job by the officials there. They don't need to throw a flag that early. Maybe a little warning. That's enough.
Here's the end of the play, and Bigsby's run out in the Alabama bench. And
yeah, I thought some of the players on Auburn took exception to Dallas Turner's end of the play where he put his hand in the face of Bigsby.
Oscar Chapman set the punt. And whistles. Oh, this one does.
Yeah, delay, little legal procedure, excuse me, is what I was trying to say.
Offense number 29, 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
Well, Chapman's going to have to back up 5. And that will give number 1, Kool-Aid McKinstry, even better field position on the end of this punt. Kool-Aid over 17 a return, but for the most part in the second half of the year, people have tried desperately to keep it away from him. Try not to give him an opportunity for those gaudy stats and his punt returns. Ooh, they got close to Chapman that time. McKinstry's going to have to call fair catch as he backpedals around the 35. And that's where Alabama will take over.
As we watch the fair catch, Ness said it came pretty close. Coming off the edge, Bond has a path. Ooh,
Henderson. Yeah. Friday on CBS, it's TV's top new series, Fire Country, a show critics call explosive, compelling, and pure entertainment. Don't miss Fire Country, Friday, 9, 8 Central on CBS. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jenny Dell with you with our CBS crew here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Gene Steratore with us in our New York studios. And Jahmyr Gibbs with us off the left side. And he got about 6. Cut down by Jalen Simpson. So Gibbs, when healthy, is a dangerous dude.
Yeah, in all different ways. Catching the ball, slashing. Once he gets in the open field, you're not going to catch him.
We saw that earlier this season. Some of the big runs or receptions that he had. Young got some pressure that time in the pocket, and that one hits the dirt, and so does Bryce.
So what you have to do with Bryce Young, understand, we've seen the game plan unfold. When he moves around, he's really dangerous. So you got to keep him in the pocket. You don't have all day, and that time Joseph did a good job of playing through his man. Everybody stayed in their lane. Nowhere for Bryce Young to move around and make that play outside of the play call.
Last year, as Gary talked about earlier, sacked 7 times, 3 of them by Derek Hall. 3rd down and 4. From the 41. Young, pressure coming again from the backside. This time he delivers to JoJo. No, it's not Earl. It's Kendrick Law, a young guy, and a flag down. And Derek Hall's a man that's down.
Offside.
For Auburn.
Defense number 29. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play is the first down.
Well, the penalties on Derek, and Derek's still down as well.
So both Will Anderson and Derek Hall both lined up off sides. Matched up against Steen that time. Comes around, kind of hit into his own guy. I think he ran into Wooden, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Those two guys always say, I'll meet you at the quarterback. And they did, but they met each other instead. Timeout with Derek Hall down. Well, Derek Hall comes off under his own power, but he doesn't look like things are quite the way he had hoped here in the first quarter. I think he's going to head to the medical tent.
Yeah, you got to feel like that something tweaked that scared him, and he wanted to make sure before I get up, I'm not going to hurt myself anymore as he limps forward.
Dylan Brooks will come in and take his spot. First down, Alabama at the Auburn 46. Gibbs in motion. He'll get the toss around the left corner. Jahmyr Gibbs out at the 40. So about 5 out of that.
It's a fancy sweep, but it counts as a pass. And just a little note, the Gibbs and Bigsby are the only 2 FBS backs in the country that lead their teams in both rushing attempts and receptions. Very diversified players, both of them are.
That's Gibbs' 41st reception of the year. They throw it out. Ja'Cory Brooks this time. He broke through kind of a wall over there, and he just snuck through it.
Of course, Oots that time, Robbie Oots, number 45, goes in motion from the H-back spot. 1 block, 2 blocks, and he creases it to the short side of the field.
It's the way you draw it up, but half the time it doesn't work. Well, perfect that time.
Auburn fans remember Ja'Cory Brooks from a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Big play to get the game into first of 4 overtimes. First down, blitz coming on Young. Has time, though, and fires it out complete to Oots. And Oots cartwheels down to the 12-yard line, maybe the 11.
Great design by offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien. Came back with the same look that they ran the quick screen. This time's a pass. Got the outlet. Bryce takes him. First down. Beautiful play calling by Bill O'Brien right there in the center with the hat on.
First down at the 11-yard line. They can get a first down at the 1. Latu in motion. Jahmyr Gibbs only got to the 10. Nice job by Colby Wooden. First guy there.
So this is where it gets tough calling plays if you're Alabama. Everybody says they don't run the ball enough. They're not balanced enough. But you got number 9, and it's hard to take the ball out of his hands.
No doubt. And McClellan in the backfield with Bryce. Wants to throw back to McClellan. Got it to him, and he's got it. Touchdown, Alabama.
It's about trust. Bill O'Brien trusts your quarterback on the throwback. This could be a dangerous throw, but Bryce Young has earned the trust. The call, trust your playmaker, and it comes through for a touchdown. Well-designed play, 2-on-1. You got your tight end and your running back out there, kind of a half a defender to cover 2 guys.
Yep. That's McClellan's 3rd receiving touchdown of the year. As Will Reichard's in for the point after, which is up and good. So another good-looking Alabama drive. 14 unanswered. 8 plays, 65 yards, and the touchdown to Jace McClellan. 65 yards for that touchdown from Young to McClellan. And so for Bryce Young, that is 26 straight games with a touchdown pass. And this one just got the corner of the end zone to bring it out to the 25.
Nice sequence by Alabama. Safe throws, started out into the formation, motion, easy quick screen. 3-on-2 to the top. He's got the numbers. That's a game plan play. Now you come back. You've got something off of that play. Same look. This time it's a different. Bryce Young patient. Trust from the coach. Takes it down there. Now 2nd and long near the goal line. A little bit of a roll right. Dangerous play throwback. But he's got a veteran quarterback. And they stick it in the end zone.
There's what we just said, another mark for Bryce Young. And Robbie Ashford comes up throwing for a first down to Shedrick Jackson. Shedrick had a couple of catches last year in this game.
So you get the feeling for Alabama. I mean, we know the cards that Alabama has, and Auburn does too. I mean, Bryce Young is the center of that attack. But anything that Ashford can get them in the passing game.
That's gravy.
Yeah, absolutely.
On Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah. We're both done. No, you got yours Saturday.
I got mine tomorrow.
Sunday, right.
Ashford under center with a little option toss to Jarquez Hunter. And Hunter lost the ball. Alabama's covered it. DJ Dale's got it for the Tide.
Boy, you got to feel bad for Jarquez Hunter. He tries to make a sharp cut, but he's got the football in his right hand. When he makes the cut, if he had it in his left hand, he would have been okay. Watch, option play, he's got it. Switch it to your left hand. It is in his left hand, my mistake. He hits his own guy in the back.
Yep.
Shanker. I thought it was stripped by Alabama. It was his own player that popped it. Tough break for Jarquez Hunter on that play, but a turnover for Bama.
DJ Dale covered it at the 48, so Alabama with a touchdown lead and in Auburn territory. Late here in the first quarter. Young, blitz coming off the corner. He got away from that one and throws low, but complete to Isaiah Bond. First down. Let's get a Jeep update. Our New York studios. Here's up.
Hey, Ness, I know you know Michigan punished Ohio State, number 4 TCU, trying to stay perfect and get to that CFP. 4th and 2 at Iowa State. Max Duggan to Dracorius Spivey. Touchdown. Back to you.
Duggan's been really good, and so is Bryce Young. We got it complete to Ja'Cory Brooks. And Alabama knocking on the door again.
Ja'Cory Brooks is coming out to be the go-to receiver for this Alabama football team. Last year in this game, it was Mechie with 20 targets. Right now, Brooks is their go-to receiver.
24-yard pickup down to the 11. Back to the ground. And McClellan takes Tiger tacklers with him near the 5. And that's going to bring the first quarter to a close.
Throw the ball, and now nice forward. Oh, Cameron did Latu that time. Nice job coming across. He was supposed to kick out, but as it closed down, he just folded him the way he wanted to go.
McClellan's still down, but Alabama is up by a touchdown over their arch rivals from Auburn. 14-7 7th-ranked Tide. It seemed like a harmless carry.
Yeah.
Jace McClellan was dropped at the 5-yard line, but sometimes you don't realize what goes on under those piles, and you're going to see his ankle turned under the tackler.
Yeah, it got a little ouchy right here,
Yep.
didn't it?
And so he comes off limping rather badly. Meanwhile, his team is just outside the 5-yard line with a 2nd down and 4. Derek Hall is back in the lineup for Auburn. That's good news for their defense. And touchdown, Roydell Williams, the guy that just came in for McClellan, and he scores.
It does feel like Alabama has found their rotation in their running game now, using all of the backs. Gibbs out in the open field, McClellan when he's healthy, and Roydell Williams is the power back, his short yardage back. Oh, good job. Booker and Steen do a great job at the point of the attack, holding off that front for Auburn that was so tough for Alabama to run a year ago against.
Well, remember, the fumble recovery at the 48 gave the Tide a short field, and it didn't take them long, 1 minute, in fact, to get in the end zone again, and Reichard's extra point is good. So 48 yards in 4 plays, and now Auburn has seen Alabama score 21 straight.
Yeah, that turnover, right? They had a positive play, give the Alabama the ball back, and they've got it rolling now.
Roydell Williams' 4th rushing touchdown of the year has given the Tide a 21-7 lead. 1 play into the 2nd quarter. Reichard will tee it up. In front of the sellout crowd here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Jarquez Hunter waits back at the goal line for the Tigers. And Jarquez will let this one go out back of the end zone. Well, let's test your knowledge now with today's Aflac trivia question. Which is 2004 featured 3 12-0 teams, including Auburn. Which teams played for the BCS national title that year?
SEC fans remember this like it was yesterday. Huge chip on their shoulder because Auburn did not get in it.
Auburn,
little hits.
Cadillac was on that 2004 team.
Kind of changed the whole story. It kind of initiated the championship BCS. Oh, man. This offense for Auburn cannot settle down. Unforced errors.
Offense number 71. 5-yard
They
penalty.
had one drive, and that was mostly Robbie Ashford.
Yep. This is how they started the game. On the first snap, false start.
And
they
again,
do the same thing on this drive.
And now the challenge again, as I've talked about, this Auburn team cannot afford to get behind the chains. On first down, they need 3 or 4 yards. Now, what does 3 or 4 yards give them? Problems.
And it's going to be a reverse from Bigsby to Hunter, and Hunter's got the edge and got blockers. And he not only picks up the penalty yardage, he rips off a 20-yard run for a first down.
Well, 2 things obviously you like about this play if you're an Auburn fan. Number 1 is you give it back to the guy who fumbled the ball. It's a long football game. And number 2, the creativity in this running play. Ike Hillard calling plays, and Will Friend, the offensive line coach, dialed up a nice one there.
I love what you said to Ike Hillard when we talked to him the other day about play calling and running the football so often. We'll get to that in a second. There's a bootleg. Ashford throws. Almost intercepted. Back there by Eli Ricks.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. We get Ike Hilliard, the wide receiver from Florida under Spurrier, and he's talking about how he wants to run the ball 80 times.
You said when you used to play, you'd shake your head every time there was a running play.
I could always tell when it was a running play when he played for Florida. Come out of the huddle shaking his head, no. And Ike said...
He totally agreed with you.
He did. Yes, he did.
Second down and 10. Two tight ends in for Auburn. Toss to Bigsby. And Tank Bigsby going to be close to a first down. Let's check in with Jenny.
All right, we got a slew of them. We're going to start with DJ Dale. He spent some time in the injury tent. His middle and pointer finger were wrapped up on his right hand, but he's good to go. Jason McClellan, we saw him not putting any weight on that right ankle. He's still being evaluated. That's a questionable return. And for Derek Hall for Auburn, his mom was standing right next to me at the fence. The trainers came over, said he was stepped on, but he's been paying through pain. They wrapped up that left forearm, guys.
All right. You really got to
I thought he was
decent
limping.
info when mom's telling you,
right.
Okay. First down at the 49. Ashford throws over the middle, complete. Coy Moore. And Coy Moore's got a first down.
Another well-designed play. The tight receiver in a condensed formation comes across with the clear out to the wide side of the field. Plenty of protection. Robbie Ashford actually makes a nice throw with someone right in his face right there.
They got 17 out of that to the 34-yard line of Alabama.
This might be the most important drive of the game for this Auburn football team. Stay in the game.
They led 7-0. They've seen Alabama score 21 straight. And now they're looking for an answer here. Play action. Ashford's going to go back to Tank Bigsby out in the flat. And Tank gets to the 31, brought down there by DeMarco Helms.
Auburn has to be very happy with the performance of Robbie Ashford in this game so far. They've asked him to run, he's done it. They've asked him to throw from the pocket and be smart about it. He's been smart with the football.
Second down and 7 at the 12.5-minute mark of the second quarter.
And if you're calling plays, do you think right now I got 3 more downs to get a first down? If you need them. Good quarterbacking right there. Not enough time for him to go out and shift. Brings him back, gets him in the right formation.
Darkrise Hunter on the swing pass out of the backfield, and he's close to a first down. I think he's about a yard or half a yard shy.
It's part of your job as a quarterback to make sure your guys are in the right formation. Look around. You know where you want them. Bring them back. Now he goes in motion. They were going to shift him back there. Didn't have time on the play clock. Ends up being a very positive play.
And a manageable third down. 3rd and 1. Jace McClellan looks like he's walking okay on the sideline, but we'll have to wait and see when the offense comes back out if he's going to be out and be part of it. Right now, the defense trying to bulk up on a 3rd and 1. Hunter, second effort, got it. First down, Auburn.
So how about that little note about Darkrise Hunter, Ness? He's rushed for over 100 yards 4 times, and all 4 times Bigsby did as well in the same game. That's called complementary running backs, isn't it?
It sure is. Great 1-2 punch between those two.
And to that Auburn offensive line, when they're not moving early, they're doing pretty well.
First down. At the Alabama 23. Toss. Tank Bigsby trying to get to the edge. Only got about a yard. Nice job defensively by Jordan Battle. And now he and Bigsby have a few words.
Yeah, Battle just sees the play. He's a very aggressive safety. Good tackler. Wraps him up. Just don't throw your body. Wrap him up. You go out to practice, you hear it 100 times. Wrap up the ball carrier.
Second down and 8. Bigsby, the tailback, and the pistol set behind Ashford. Those two had a little chat going on the snap count and the slap count. And Bigsby, only a yard. Got it to the 20.
So there hasn't been a lot of changes in this Auburn offensive line. Cameron Stutz, number 62, is usually the left guard, but Jeremiah Wright is in the game right now, and that Alabama defense kind of stuffed that hole, did they not?
Tim Smith, part of that, stuffing the hole. And it brings up 3rd down and 7. Big 3rd down. As Gary said, though, it'll be 2-down territory on the road against your arch rival.
Yeah, our arch rival is putting points up pretty easily.
Right. To'o coming out of blitz. Ashford fires, end zone. Got it. Touchdown.
Nobody in the country can throw it better than that.
Javarius Johnson in the corner of the end zone, a 20-yard touchdown strike.
Beautiful wheel route. Enough time to throw it, and it is delivered. He's the third receiver in. The inside slot comes in, clear. Beautifully designed play. It took some time, but it was delivered perfectly.
Dropped it in the bucket. Right at you.
What about that drive? They started out with a penalty. I said it's a problem. They get behind the chains. They pick it up with a very creative run play, and they stick a 10-play, 75-yard drive on them.
Jeremiah Wright is the injured player.
Yeah, and he was in for Stutz, so we'll see if Stutz is injured as well. That could be a big problem.
Working on the left knee right now, Jeremiah.
Nope, he says you're okay. See him tap him right there? You're okay, he said.
If he's not, quit slapping my knee, will you?
Let's see if we can see what happened here.
Got a pretty good block to get one of the rushers out of the way, and then
got stepped on, didn't he?
Either that or just a false step.
Yeah.
Might have been Ashford that he stepped on. I don't know, but.
Well, he's signaling touchdown. He's okay for that.
335-pound signal for the touchdown.
Did see Stutz go back on the field for the extra point, so he must be okay. What a drive. Nice passing on that 5 and 5. 5 runs, 5 passes. That's the way to do it.
Alex McPherson, who took over for Anders Carlson, the longtime kicker who's injured, in for the point after. And extra point is good. 9:34 remaining first half. Robbie Ashford with a perfect strike to Javarius Johnson, and his coach Cadillac says that's 75-yard drive in 10 plays. And Robbie Ashford, the 7th touchdown pass of the year, and it was a beauty.
Yeah, and pretty impressive drive in this big atmosphere right here. Remember, when he came into Auburn this year, he had more starts in baseball at a college level than he did as football playing quarterback. He's learning on the run in a pretty tough league.
Yeah, he had 10 starts as an outfielder for the Oregon baseball team. T.J. Finley had the job at the beginning of the year. Now it's Robbie Ashford, and was as well-designed an engineered drive as we've seen from Auburn. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs on the kick return. Flags down as Gibbs got out around the 30 and probably coming back.
Carry return, blocking it back. Number 15 is the receiving team. Half the distance from the goal. First down.
Dallas Turner with the illegal block. A little bit earlier, we asked you our trivia question, which was 2004 featured 3 12-0 teams, including Auburn. Cadillac Williams was part of that team. Which teams played for the BCS national title? Wasn't Auburn. USC beat Oklahoma.
Wow. Remember that? Remember being annoyed by the announcers in that game. I don't know why.
You didn't like what I did in that game?
Oh, you did that game. That's right.
It's kind of one-sided, I'll say that. Auburn ended up beating Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl that year. Boy, you really pick on me when you kick me when I'm down.
Well, I wanted you to give you a way to bring it up.
Gibbs on the run for 5.
You and Greasy, right?
Yep. And Swanee. Here, 21-14. Good game. There's been some surprises today, depending on who you cheer for. Zucker and the guys will talk about all that in the halftime report. Here's what Bryce Young's done so far today. 7 different guys. Morris Joseph is the injured Tiger. We'll check on him with just over 9 minutes to go when we come back. Drone shots brought to you by Goodyear. So look at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Over 100,000 on hand on this Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And another guy making a visit to the tent. Morris Joseph moving slowly. This guy not moving slowly. Bryce Young having another Bryce Young type day.
Yeah, when we spoke with Bill O'Brien yesterday, he said the guy just doesn't get nervous. We saw that last year in this game, that's for sure. And he just understands the game of football. He understands how much he needs to use his legs and when. And he's had a lot of great plays. Remember that Tennessee game that they lost? He got pounded in that game and finished it off as well, too. Very impressive in that loss to Tennessee.
Second down and 3. And trying to keep the legs moving as Jahmyr Gibbs going to be short of the first down. The other thing, Bill O'Brien, was interesting talking to him about Bryce Young, and we were talking about when he moves on to the NFL. And we got another guy down.
Another inside defensive tackle player.
Marcus Burks.
Yes, and that's been one of the strengths of Auburn is, and especially controlling this running game against Alabama, is they've been rotating a lot of those inside guys, and they need to keep that rotation going for them to stay fresh throughout the whole football game. Could they have lose 2? That would really pressure this Auburn front 4.
And you see the leg buckle in there for Burks. And too many interior linemen going down for the Tigers right now. Players in that tent over the course of the last minute or so. As Burks will head in there now. CBS Sports embraces authentic stories. Share yours at #MyNativeStory. Just under 9 minutes remaining second quarter. Alabama with a touchdown lead and a 3rd down and 2 coming up. Bryce Young looks over that Tiger defense. Jahmyr Gibbs thought about emptying the backfield. Now comes back.
And got a man-to-man key, though. The linebacker went with him. Right now, Bryce Young knows it's man-to-man.
And he throws near side, complete. Jermaine Burton. Burton's got a 1st down out to the 34.
But the Georgia transfer, Jermaine Burton, seems to be coming on as well, doesn't he?
Yep.
That's one of the hidden problems that the injury to Bryce Young caused for Alabama. Whole new set of receivers because of the transfers and a lot of freshmen.
He didn't have time to practice.
Nothing at all. So they didn't get that in sync. They didn't grow together, and they're just now getting back in sync.
There's a throw out to JoJo Earl. Earl made a couple guys miss, but we're going to have a flag and probably a holding out there as they were trying to get number 10 some open space.
Looked like Jermaine Burton, number 3. Could have been, well, there's only 2 guys out there, so I got a 50-50 chance.
Holding, offense number 3. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot.
And it was on Jermaine Burton. He just had that catch on the previous play.
Ness, if you look on the sideline, you'll see Cadillac point to his head to his team over and over. He's telling them this. The message he gave the team when he does that is, number 1, serve. Serve your teammates, serve the school, serve your career, your parents. And the other part of it is believe. Keep believing we can win this game. He tells them over and over again.
And he said if there's a 3rd thing, it would be discipline. Don't get stupid penalties, which they've had a couple today, but they've been able to overcome them so far. After that penalty, it's 1st and 20 for Alabama. Young trying to point his receivers open. Here comes pressure, and he has to get rid of it to the Auburn sideline, incomplete.
Well, usually if you watch Auburn play against a quarterback, you'll see them just going with their ears laid back right at that quarterback spot. But watch how many times Bryce Young fakes like he's going to run, and they all just stop and expect that quarterback's going to scramble and throw. It's actually a pretty nice job of staying in your lane and forcing, with good coverage behind, Bryce to just throw it away.
Eric Hall, that's why I love watching him play, the captain of the defense, or one of them. He's relentless. He never gave up. He didn't get the sack, but he did get him on the ground.
Right from out of the tent.
Yep. He's in a stand-up stance right now at the bottom of your screen and trying to bring the heat again on Young, who threw right over the top of him to Jahmyr Gibbs, but still, nice stop by Cam Riley to bring Gibbs down.
So that used to be a staple for Alabama offense going back to, maybe the first 10 years of this Alabama team. The slow screen to the running back. Haven't seen it in a long time. Asked, where is that play? Tried it, they dialed it up and stopped by Auburn. The most famous slow screen was to win the LSU game.
Third down and a bunch here for Alabama. Young down the middle, completes it, first down. Kendrick Law still running. Kendrick Law all the way to the 35-yard line on a 3rd and 19.
Well, Auburn was trying to fight their way in and find a way to stop Kendrick Law, but Kendrick Law won.
39-yard pickup. And a first down at the Auburn 36.
Again, great protection by that Alabama offensive line.
No doubt.
Just remember the nightmare a year ago. 7 sacks in the game, but 5 in the first half when this Alabama offense became discombobulated in the first half. It wasn't until a minute 30 to go in the game they actually put a drive together to score a touchdown, but time to throw, and there's going to be guys open. Last year, that front pressure. This time, this Alabama offensive line has given their quarterback time.
Law, one of those young receivers that they think is going to be special. Gary said just didn't have enough time to work with Bryce Young a lot this year because of his injury. He's looking for more. And to the end zone and got it. Ja'Cory Brooks. Touchdown, Alabama. "32-yard touchdown strike. Ja'Cory Brooks from Bryce Young.
Watch Steen and Latham, the 2 tackles handling the 2 best rushers for Auburn, right here and down here. Watch them fight, line of scrimmage. Everybody does a good job, but the 2 tackles got the playmakers for Auburn. Gives them time, 7 more points.
And another touchdown toss for Bryce Young to Ja'Cory Brooks, who hooked up in this game a year ago. Extra point is good. 93-yard, 92-yard drive in 8 plays. All right, so thanks. Let's check in with Jenny.
Well, there was a little bit of blood on Nick Saban's cheek, so I had to do some investigating, guys. Turns out he got scraped by a player's shoulder pad, but don't worry, Alabama's medical staff, they said he's good to return.
Just rub a little dirt on it, Nick. It'll be okay.
That's what happens when you recruit those 6'6" defensive linemen.
That's right.
Comes right about his head and nose right there.
Jacquez Hunter from the 5. Hunter got an opening. Reichert brought him down, or he might have had a big one. And now Will Reichert going to talk a little stuff to Jarquez Hunter after that tackle.
Yeah, if he'd have got a taunting on that tackle, there might have been more blood on Nick Saban's face.
Sure would have been.
Blew a gasket on him.
Yeah, good stop.
Gets up, and now he's going to get right in the face of Jarquez Hunter. So
his teammate smiling on the sideline. Yep. Tough guy, Will Reichert.
Announced that he's coming back next year.
He must want 500 and some points in his career, I guess.
He with everything. Another start of a drive.
3rd time.
Absolutely. The start of the game.
Offense number 62.
Now remember last time they ended up overcoming it.
Yeah, they went 75 yards last time.
Yeah, Cameron Stutz back in the game at left guard, and
he was going to be a toss sweep for Hunter, and he wanted to get out there and pull.
Right, he was on 2 claps, though, not 1. Oh no!
Now it's the right side. DeAndre Jones. 5th penalty.
So we understand. The stadium is loud, but all of the stadiums in the SEC is loud. Auburn's played the toughest rated conference, the toughest rated schedule in all of college football. They should be used to playing in this type of noise at this time of the year.
5 false start penalties, and now that's got the Alabama crowd riled up because they think they're the reason. So even that little guy is going to make some noise here at 1st down and 20. High backfield this time with Schenker, the fullback, on the move with Tank Bigsby behind him. And it's Bigsby for about 4 or 5.
It's a very dangerous part of the game here for Auburn. They give the ball back to Alabama. Remember, Alabama gets into the second half. This Auburn team needs a first down very badly here.
Let's see if Robbie Ashford's going to go to the air here. 2nd down and 15. He's been pretty effective throwing the ball today. Even more effective running it, especially on their first touchdown drive. Backpedals and throws to nowhere. And he gets dumped by Dallas Turner.
This was going to be a slow screen that was read beautifully by this Alabama defense. Nowhere to go. I'm surprised Auburn didn't get offensive linemen downfield because it took so long. One of those linemen usually creep far enough out.
This is a spot you do not want to be in. 3rd down and 15.
And let's see if Will Anderson can make an impact here right now. He lives for this 3rd and long.
There he is, number 31. Right in the middle of your screen. And on the edge to the left side of the defensive front for Alabama. Here he comes. Ashford gets away from it. Throws on the run, but he's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, the problem is when you spin out away from number 31, you spin right into Dallas Turner.
Yeah.
They got the bookheads, 31 and 15. An inside rush here by Will Anderson. Robbie can feel it with the spin, and as he goes, number 15 is standing right there.
So punting time for Auburn. Oscar Chapman. And Kool-Aid McKinstry waits back at the 30-yard. Oscar Chapman. And Kool-Aid McKinstry waits back at the 30-yard. Oscar Chapman. And Kool-Aid McKinstry waits back at the 30. Oscar Chapman. And Kool-Aid McKinstry waits back at the 30-yard. Oscar Chapman. And Kool-Aid McKinstry waits back at the 30. Oscar Chapman. And Kool-Aid McKinstry waits back at the 30-yard. Oscar Chapman. And Kool-Aid McKinstry waits back at the 30-yard.
James, probably the best corner man-to-man coverage guy for this Auburn defense. The transfer for Auburn had his arm the whole way, but apparently not enough to call. The Alabama fans thought so.
3rd down and 7. Bryce Young, 3 for 3 on 3rd downs. Got another one here. Latu, his tight end, is way up to the top of your screen. And then 3 wide receivers spread to both sides. Might be a free play. Young going deep. Broken up again. That's Ja'Cory Brooks. A nice job by Zion Puckett.
It is a free play. Another mistake, another pre-snap mistake by Auburn. Alabama's tough enough, but making mistakes before the play starts.
Yeah, jumped in the neutral zone.
Repeat 3rd down.
Alabama's tough after the snap, let alone giving them a head start before the snap.
Exactly.
I think it's Wooden this time, number 25. It is. Bryce Young could feel it. He could feel the free play. Nobody on him.
Wooden had a great game last year in this one, too. He had 11 tackles, which led the team, and the sack. We mentioned earlier, Derek Hall had 3 sacks, so those two combined for 4 of the 7. 2 tight end formation now as things change up a little bit for Alabama, making it a 3rd down and 2 after the penalty. Young looked towards Gibbs, now comes back down the middle. Got his tight end again. And Robbie Oots has got a 1st down. And another flag flies in. Got a couple of penalty markers down. Ken Williamson will straighten it out for us here.
Not sure if it was a pick play by Alabama. That's what I think they're going to be talking about right here. It is. think Ja'Cory Brooks comes across and
Pass
picks.
interference. Offense number 7.
He did.
15-yard
Just
penalty
blocked
for
him
previous spot.
downfield.
Repeat third down.
Good call by the secondary that time, right in the middle of the play, and kind of like Brooks was running his crossing route. The guy was in the way, so he just knocked him down instead of trying to avoid him. Remember, the defense is allowed to take their territory, and an offensive player cannot just run them over like that.
The cool demeanor of Bryce Young as he looks to the sideline. They had a 3rd and 19 on their last touchdown drive and picked up a 39-yarder to Kendrick Law. They got 3rd and 17 right here. Play clock down to 5. And they just got it off. Young. Down the middle, broken up, incomplete, intended for Ja'Cory Brooks. And Keontae Scott made the play, and now the fans are booing, thinking that should have been defensive interference.
So remember, that started out with the armbar early, and again, both of them fighting. Nowadays, I swear, every time I watch one of these, I feel, well, that could have been interference. Well, that could have been. They're always fighting each other with their hands, and they don't call them all, and they say that was incidental hand fighting before the throw.
Burnett to punt, and Scott, the guy that made the play defensively, as the punt returner, has to call for the fair catch, and he dropped it. Alabama's got it. Scott saying, no, he didn't give me a chance. Let's take a look.
Oh, he's got plenty of room to catch that ball. Did it touch him? That's the question. I think
maybe that's what he was saying. Yes. Never touched the ball.
Right, that's what I think it is. Did it actually touch him? Could not see the ball change direction as it passed his hands.
There's the fair catch signal. Now he puts his hands out, but I don't know that he'd ever.
I thought the other angle was a better look. If we slow it way down, the first angle.
By the receiving team and recovered by the kickers. That previous play is under review.
I thought the first angle was closer if we slow down. I don't see the ball move as it passes Scott.
Gene Steratore is with us and is watching with us.
I'm agreeing with Gary right now on the 2 replays, and this is a good shot. I agree. The football does not change whatsoever when it passes down by the hands. To me, I think he just misses the football completely. And then I was following the bounce, guys, but I didn't see anything after the ball bounces either to show me that there was a touch. I think they can overturn this and should and give Auburn the football back.
You saw the giant eyes of Neelan Hibbett, the long snapper, who's the guy that recovered her, thinks he did.
And then the giant eyes of Cadillac saying, you can't do this to me. You cannot do this to me. He didn't touch it. And I'll tell you, the guy who was sure was Scott. He goes, no, this is not a problem. I didn't touch it.
Wagging his fingers, said, I never touched the ball.
It's like your kids come home, when the cookie jar's like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Wasn't me. Ball does not change any direction at all.
This goes right through and hits the point, and then
if I was the replay official, I would overturn it.
And then his hands both go down because he didn't touch it the second time for sure. Here's a call.
After further review, Ruben Field stands. It's first down.
Wow.
My goodness. That is a huge call.
Keontae Scott's in shock right now.
Man, oh man.
I don't know what they're seeing that we didn't see. And Gene, I don't know what else you can say. You agree with us in the first place.
I do, Brad. I in defensive replay, and I don't. To me, it seems clear and obvious. They're looking at that ball passing, I'm assuming, in front of the hand and saying they can't see space from that angle. But at some point, I think you have to look at the ball and you have to look to see that it didn't move, and then go ahead and make that decision that it didn't touch. But by the rules of replay, they didn't see anything clear and obvious to overturn it.
Okay. Bryce Young with new life goes to the end zone and overshot his intended receiver, Isaiah
I
Bond.
will say this. If they always used the rule clear and obvious in replay, I wouldn't have a problem. But they don't. They make all kind of assumptions, and that time, that ball did not move.
So Alabama with 2:40, all their timeouts, second down at 10.
Going to be a fight now, and they got to believe. Now, this Auburn defense has to trust their coach. Believe, fight with discipline.
Bond in motion across the field. The give is to Jace McClellan. The flag is down. It's probably going to be a holding call.
Right.
You can put that under review, too.
The umpire might have saw the play differently.
Could be, because that's where it came from.
A lot of sports would be there.
Offense number 52. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
I don't get to do basketball with you, but that would be kind of a makeup call.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that. I got time to do that with Raft in a couple weeks.
Brad.
Seth McLaughlin is the center for Alabama. Guy that's shaken up on the play.
Kind of talk about Seth McLaughlin is kind of the spirit of that offensive line. He and Darian Delcourt are the two guys that rotate in there.
He got rolled up from behind.
Always happens, doesn't it?
And he's walking off on his own with his knee brace unstrapped for now.
We actually talked to Nick about, what is kind of the leaders of a team all the time. And he said, the offensive line is the guys I look at. They bring the toughness, and talked about Landon Dickerson, remember back in that championship team. And you always got one of those guys you love to have, a fighter up front, and then a couple talented tackles always works well too.
So Dalcourt's going to come in, who was the starter at the beginning of the year at center for Alabama. And it's second down and 20. Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield with Bryce Young. Alabama trying to add to their 2-touchdown lead here in the final 2.5 minutes of the quarter. And they get the football to start the third. So a critical time right here for the Auburn defense. Jahmyr Gibbs came out of the backfield as a wide receiver down to the bottom of your screen. Young, pressure coming late. He's going to take off with it. Bryce Young inside the 30 and slides right where he needed to slide for the first down.
Except they'll call it where he begins to slide. When you're close, when there's room, I would love to see my quarterback dive across that first down. So it's going to be close. He looked at the markers and slid, but usually when you start the slide, that could be reviewed.
Please, not another review. First down.
It's not clear and obvious, let's put it this way.
Jahmyr Gibbs trying to bounce it outside. Auburn won't let him. Nice job defensively out there by Nehemiah Pritchett on the corner to force the play.
Pritchett played, watching the tape all of last year, started 11 games for this Auburn defense. Boundary corner, he and James are the two corners. Big stop for this Auburn defense. Stay in this football game. Alabama with Bryce Young is dangerous. You know that.
And letting that clock wind down as well. Second down and 11. Just inside the 27 of the Tigers.
3 timeouts left. No hurry for Alabama.
Empty backfield. Bryce Young, quick throw out. Wide receiver screen. Trey Holden. Touchdown, Alabama. Dangerous, as Gary said. Bryce Young, Trayshawn Holden, 27-yard touchdown.
Yeah, another great call by Bill O'Brien. You have to say it. Give him credit. He's been criticized a little bit. Javian Cohen this time, the guard comes out and actually gets the key block. Well, kind of gets in the way on the play and kind of walks into the end zone, don't they? That was a formational play. They looked to the sideline. They said, yep, keep the wide receiver bubble screen on, and they put it in the end zone.
Reichard in for the point after. Up and good.
This is what you're used to looking at when Alabama's rolling and number 9 is doing it. He puts a lot of pressure on any defense in college football.
6th touchdown grab of the year.
They've used just about everybody in those receiver groups. There's like 6 different guys we're looking at going out for passes.
Flag down. I think Alabama was offside on the kickoff.
Yep.
Somebody got ahead of Will Reichard by about a half step. There's a guy right next to him, too, in the formation.
Well, Auburn has played solid
Offside.
football.
Kicking team number 34. The 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the return. First down.
To me, after the snap, the pre-snap penalties have killed them. Against a good team like Alabama, finding their way right now. As Bryce Young's gotten healthy, this Alabama team is hitting on all cylinders.
I want to finish up what I was saying about Bryce Young when we talked to Bill O'Brien. He said when he does go to the NFL, I hope the team that drafts him can sit down with him for like a whole day instead of a 15-minute interview at the combine, because they got to understand they're getting a kid that is so intelligent, football-wise and non-football-wise. I mean, he just gushed about him.
Yeah, I think in between those lines, he's saying that you need to trust him what he does well. You just don't want to plug him into your offense. You have to take what he does, trust him, and you'll have a special player.
And build around him.
Yep.
Ashford on a quarterback draw. Robbie goes for about 12 or 13 and a first down. Helms was there to make sure he didn't go any farther. Clock starts now. Down to 37 remaining in the half. Auburn's up 2 timeouts remaining. Ashford throws off his back foot, trying to throw a screen, and that just never materialized.
Yeah.
Let's check in with Jenny.
Yeah, real quick for Alabama, wide receiver JoJo Earl and both Seth McLaughlin are both in the locker room right now dealing with injuries, being evaluated. I'll have an update after the half, guys.
All right, Jenny, thanks. JoJo had some problems earlier and was just starting to get healthy.
Yeah, in fact, Coach Saban said he had a really good week of practice. We would see him.
Second down and 10 for Ashford. And incomplete. Closest guy was Coy Moore.
And Kool-Aid McKinstry that time did a good job playing zone. He fell off the short receiver in the flat. Watch him fall off and just retreat, and that forced the throw to the outside. He wanted to go. He thought he had him, and then the last second, he goes, there's a guy right there.
The 3rd and 10.
Bookend pass rushers are in the game, 31 and 15. What angle are they coming from?
Ashford, pressure coming, and sails it over to the sideline, incomplete. Now it's 4th down with 22 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and I would bet right now that Alabama will try to go for the block. The tempo, I would be warning my punter. Let's catch it and punt it. Do not delay.
Oscar Chapman to punt. And again, we've talked about keeping it out of the hands of Kool-Aid McKinstry if you can. And Kool-Aid with an early fair catch takes it at the 15-yard line. So 14 seconds. Well, the clock's still running now. Stopped at 13. And a flag that I did not see.
Turn the kick, holding, receiving team number 19. The penalty will be enforced from into the kick, half the distance to the goal. First down.
So that backs up Alabama even further with just 13 ticks remaining, even though they have all their timeouts. CBS tomorrow. Don't miss the winter finale of the new hit show, East New York, starring Amanda Warren, Jimmy Smits, and Richard Kine. Catch a new East New York tomorrow after the Equalizer on CBS.
Just again talking about Bryce and this attack for Alabama today. 13 completions in the first half. What is he, 250 yards, but to 7 different receivers, okay? Half the time, you don't know where this football is going when he throws it. Some kind of draw play here, very safe, you think?
Maybe to Gibbs. And Gibbs goes down, loss of 3. That should do it for the first half.
Cadillac took a timeout.
And Bryce Young's heading to the locker room, but they're going to have to retrieve their quarterback. Well, maybe not. Auburn's heading to the locker room, too.
Well, I saw the official running in, waving timeout. I assumed Cadillac got in his ear with a timeout.
Yep. Now you're going to hear the Boo Birds here, Brian Denny. As a competitor.
Yeah, but it doesn't make much sense. 5 seconds,
No,
what does it accomplish?
I don't know.
Lets us do this.
Okay.
Right here.
Gives us an opportunity. College football player, Georgia winner over Georgia Tech. Got LSU in the SEC championship game at Mercedes-Benz next Saturday. We'll be there to bring it to you.
Yeah, right now. And remember, with Ohio State out of there, how far do they drop? I mean, they got pasted at home.
Yeah, the shocker in Columbus.
And their hope, really, I think their path, if you're Ohio State, they need Notre Dame badly to win, because that's their best win right there.
Notre Dame plays USC tonight.
Yeah, because if there's a comparison at the end of the year, who's it going to be? It could be LSU if they knock off Georgia. Does an SEC champion with 2 losses leapfrog? But Ohio State has beaten Penn State and Notre Dame. That's what they're hanging on right now. Because it was ugly. That was an ugly, tough loss at home when you're trying to make a statement to get into the playoffs.
Now both teams can head to their locker rooms after that oddly called timeout with 9 seconds to go. And the Alabama fans will let the Auburn troops know it as they head to that corner and into the locker room. Bryce Young, a sensational first half for last year's Heisman Trophy winner, playing more like he did a year ago here in the first 2 quarters of this one. As he always does. High fives at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The hometown Crimson Tide out in front 35-14. Under a huge first half by Bryce Young with 4 touchdowns accounted for. And Alabama will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Evan McGuire to kick off. Ja'Cory Brooks and Jahmyr Gibbs will wait on the other end. Taken at the 3 by Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs. Nice return out around the 27 as we return you to the booth. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jenny Dell down on the field. Partner, you said the last minute of the 2nd quarter, it's imperative that Auburn keeps Alabama out of the end zone. I think it's totally imperative right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're bound by that many points. A lot of it's, their own doing. Those penalties before the snap have been killing them. But this Alabama team, I'm telling you, I watched them through the whole year. They're rolling now. They got it going. They've got confidence in their receivers. And it looks like their offensive line now is protecting. I mean, the difference between a year ago, and I know it's a different Auburn front, but boy, they have really improved in their pass protection here.
So let's see if the Auburn defense can get Alabama off the field here to start the 3rd quarter and not allow any further damage. Here's a pitch to Gibbs. And that's a nice opener right there for Derek Hall to drop Gibbs for a loss as we check in with Jenny Dow.
Yeah, Cadillac Williams said that he's taking the bullet here. He said, I did not get this team prepared to play the Auburn brand of football. He said, no more self-inflicted wounds. Offensively, we need to limit penalties. Defensively, we need to disguise better, get some more pressure on Bryce. Guys, he said this is going to be a different Auburn team in the 2nd half.
Let's see if they are. They started off good with a loss of 3 for Gibbs, who trots out as a wide receiver to the left side on 2nd and 13 for Bryce Young. Nice easy toss and catch. And Isaiah Bond tiptoes out of bounds. If you take a look at the trends of the first half, as I mentioned, 4 total touchdowns accounted for Bryce Young, 2nd most in school history. Robbie Ashford, a couple of big runs, especially on their opening drive, and he capped it off with a touchdown run. But those penalties and turnovers that Gary talked about have really derailed Auburn's attempt at pulling off an upset, at least so far. And we'll see if Cadillac, as she told Jenny, that we're going to erase those problems here in the 2nd half. We'll find out.
This will be the first look. 3rd down, they need to stop. Still no look of pressure coming.
3rd down and 3.
3-man rush.
Young all day to throw again. And down the middle he goes, completes it Jermaine Burton, first down Alabama, and into Auburn territory.
Pretty tough with this guy, as skilled as he is, understanding coverages, knowing where he wants to go with the football. He reads zone right away. He's got opportunity to find his man. Nice adjustment that time by Burton, finding the open hole, but enough time to do that.
Yeah. Way too much time if you're an Auburn fan. Pickup of 17 and a first down at the 48. Chase McClellan in the backfield. Burton the motion man. Again, this time the pocket collapses a little bit. Bryce Young going to take off, get what he can, and pick up a first down and a gain of 15.
Well, remember, that shoulder injury derailed this football team. First game back was Tennessee. We didn't even know if he was going to play in that game coming out before the game. Played a tremendous football game, but now he looks as comfortable as he's ever looked, doesn't he?
Just gliding right now when he runs the ball to the 34. Already 331 total yards for number 9. And now it's Chase McClellan. And McClellan broke a couple of tackles. Deontay Scott finally knocked him off his pins, but he got 8 more.
So Seth McLaughlin, number 56, is back in at center. They run off the right side. You see Seth right there almost get to the second level and get a block, but up front, Ekiyor, Latham, clean it out.
So second and short here. You can do anything you want. You're Alabama's offense. Isaiah Bond in motion and will settle at the top of your screen. The quick throw off the RPO. First down to the 20. He went out to Bond.
Well, you have to believe the way Coach Saban, and he's always measuring his team to play the whole 60 minutes, but he understands the game. Part of the game of making the playoffs is style points. He wants to keep that pedal to the metal. He wants to throw, continue to score, and give a statement. Whatever it goes, however it ends, Alabama's playing their best football now. You want us in or not?
They worked it in the red zone at the 19. First down. Young got away somehow and then just tiptoes out of bounds with another 8-yard pickup. Eric Hall was putting the pressure on him.
See, that's the difference of modern day football too. You can be all ready to go. You're playing hard. You're trying to get through every block. But the modern game is these guys finesse you to death. And it gets frustrating after a while.
Eric Hall after chasing and saying, I need a little help here. I got a breather. Chasing number 9 around. McClellan, first and goal at the 5.
Boy, he does squirt through there pretty effectively, doesn't he? I mean, it looked like that was bottled up pretty tight. He just finds a little seam and picks up an extra 3 yards. Looked like he had maybe 1-2 yards and turns and spins his way forward.
They'll mark it at the 6. First and goal. McClellan behind Young. Pulls it out of his stomach and fires to the goal line. Incomplete, intended for Ja'Cory Brooks, but there is a flag. DJ James was the guy on Brooks.
Well, there's no safety in the middle of the field right here, so Bryce Young knows it's man-to-man.
Defense number 4.
He does the RPO, he wants to slant.
2-yard line, and it's an automatic first down.
The call is DJ James has too much of a hold and too much of control. Ball slightly underthrown, and that was really what forced the contact by James there. It's a tough one on the DB on that one. Ball's underthrown. It's kind of like a back shoulder throw. You know, you're running full speed. The receiver slows down. You run right over him.
First and goal at the 2. And 2 tight ends in for Alabama. McClellan driving. Second ever touchdown. 2 yards for number 2. And Alabama has another score.
taking it straight up. Steen does a good job, just pushes out there. Inside, Cohen does a good job of getting to the next level. Really nobody to block. But that left side, 70 and 54, do the job, and McClellan just patiently trots in.
5-minute drive to open up the third quarter. And Will Reichard's point after is good. 72 yards in 9 plays. A nice mix of runs, scrambles, passes, and Jace McClellan from 2 yards out.
Candidate, it's the former Tiger and C.J. Stroud. Lots of yards, but a couple of touchdowns, couple of interceptions as the Buckeyes lose at home to Michigan for the first time since 2000.
The Platypus Trophy, huh, Zook? That's a good one. 5 minutes into the third quarter here in Alabama, 42-14. Next Saturday, huge day of sports tips on at 12:30 Eastern. College hoops action between Oklahoma and Villanova. And at 3, the drive to Atlanta. And college football today gets you set for the big one at 4. The SEC Championship game on CBS, presented by Dr. Pepper, featuring red hot LSU, the number 5 team in the country, against the number 1 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. That's all next Saturday, right here at CBS. And fair catch called for, and Auburn will bring it out to the 25-yard line. As we take a look at our quarterback comparison today, Robbie Ashford has had moments where he looks really good, but then you got this other guy on the other side.
Yeah.
He's really good.
That's never good. Like when you're playing against Mahomes or Marino or something, and they do a QB comparison. That's no fun.
No, it's not.
I've been on that other side many times.
Bryce Young has been sensational again today. And now let's see if Auburn has any kind of answer.
Alabama's over 400 yards, and the Alabama faithful can't get rid of Bill O'Brien fast enough. He's just looking around going, what I got to do here?
Yeah. Everything they've dialed on Jarquez Hunter on the direct snap. Goes for 12 yards and a first down.
This is what you got. This is what you got to go to. Good job by that time Shanker, that number 25. Perfect block. What a 60-second game.
Yeah.
He's still hustling. He's not looking at the scoreboard, is he?
Nope. Shanker is a Auburn institution, number 25.
He's been there longer than some buildings.
He's been there longer than a lot of coaches.
True.
First down. High snap. Tank Bigsby gets the handoff, just sort of stumbles for about 5 yards. Henry To'o was there to make sure he didn't go any further.
And that's really what you got to do again. If you're running this Auburn offense, this is your offense. You know, you got to run those 2 running backs and make every drive you have from here on in count. And then look up and see if it's enough.
They do come out with a 3 wide out look this time. On second down and 5. And they will keep doing what they do. Tank Bigsby going to be short of the first down by about a yard. Jaheim Otis in on the stop. Third down. Bring in an extra tight end. That's what the 2 backs have done so far today. Let's see if it's Tank Bigsby on the call here. Ashford under center and Schnecker playing. They're going to come end around to Jarquez Hunter, and he's got an avenue. Jarquez Hunter inside the 30, still going down that sideline. He got all the way to the 10. Great run, well-designed play, and well executed.
Boy, that's a short yardage play, and then their back pocket all the way, didn't they? DeMarcus Helms, number 2, is the only guy, and he's just trying to buy time here. One-on-one, and he's going, slow it down. Come on, where's everybody else? Where's everybody else? And finally, at the end of the play, I think it was Turner came over and helped with the tackle.
Jarquez went 45 yards on that one. And his first and goal, Auburn. At the 9. Empty backfield. See if Robbie Ashford runs this one. Nope. Just a good pitch to Bigsby, and he ran right into Dallas Turner. I mean, Dallas Turner ran him over at the 15.
Yeah, he's and man on line of scrimmage over there. We saw him in the pass protection. They're coming right upfield this time. Defeats the block that time by inside by Zier and just gets back there and leaves.
And he's limping.
Yep.
Dallas coming out after making a great play there and a loss of 5. So 2nd and goal now, but it's back at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, and you're down here. You're not no more field goals. You got to go for touchdown.
Ashford fires, incomplete, intended for Schenker.
Tried the wheel route again, this time with the tight end. Right side of the formation. Out, up, defended well.
AT&T 5G pylon cam. There's the coverage on the Auburn tight end.
Cadillac wanted interference on that one. Nope, didn't get it.
Well, 2 downs yet to go. It's 3rd and goal at the 14, but as Gary said, 3-pointers aren't going to do you any good. So they've got a couple more cracks at it here. Bigsby empties the backfield. Ashford's going to do a quarterback draw. Robbie Ashford, touchdown Auburn. 14 yards, his 2nd score on the ground today.
Alabama in their patented combo coverage where they're playing 4-on-3 to one side and 2-on-1 on the other side. Perfect call in this situation. You've got 4 guys covering 3 to the top. Their combo in the bottom. 2 guys covering 1. That's a lot of space. Quarterback draw is the one they dial up. Get by the line of scrimmage. Easy picking. Robbie Ashford, great drive that time. Couple passes, that's all they threw?
Extra point is good. So Ashford earlier today had a 24-yard touchdown run. Just capped off a 75-yard march in 7 plays with a 14-yard touchdown scamper. Auburn hanging in there with Alabama. Boys, senior players who have gone 46-6 over their time in Tuscaloosa, looking for number 47 here today. They won a couple SEC championships, a national championship. When they recruit everybody at Alabama, they say, you stick around and become a senior or stick around long enough, you'll win a national championship.
They've got a lot of them here.
Yeah, they do. High short kick, fielded at the 16 by Ja'Cory Brooks, and he backpedals his way to the 30. Check out the new Paramount Plus original movie, Fantasy Football, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. Head to ParamountPlus.com/fantasyfootball to try it for free.
Okay, the old theory for Auburn to stay in the game is 1 drive, 1 series at a time, but the defense needs to stop for that to even have a chance to work. It's really been one of the main problems in their defense, 3rd down. Alabama's 5 for 7 on 3rd down. Will they try some pressure? Will they go after Bryce Young and just man up and take whatever happens, happens?
First down from the 30. Boots a tight end in motion. Gonna whip it out to Ja'Cory Brooks. Brooks got about 9 as we check in with Jenny.
Yeah, Colby Wooden getting this entire team motivated. He is not happy with the way this game is going. Hall and Wooden being very vocal on the sideline before they just got into the game. The coaching staff telling Hall, just go get the ball right now, guys.
Those 2 guys have played a lot of football for Auburn. Colby Wooden and Derek Hall from each end. There's Hall, number 29. They don't want to go out on a losing note in the Iron Bowl to their arch rivals. An upset win would put them in a bowl game, but they're a long ways from that, as Alabama's got 21 more than they do right now. McClellan and Jace McClellan got about 4.
Did you see J.C. Latham point out he's reading the safety blitz, so he's pointing out, telling them to move back around, just kind of letting everybody know what the assignments are. Part of it is on a running play, you're kind of the decoy. You're pointing out as if it's a pass play, and you're just running the other way.
Another 300-yard passing game for Bryce Young. And still a lot of football left in this one. McClellan, nice second effort run. Stood up finally by Owen Papo, the captain, 2-time captain, middle linebacker for the Auburn Tigers. And again, it's getting a little chippy down there. Frustration on one side that they're behind. 2-time captain, talk about Owen Papo. That's only Second time that's happened fourth time that's happened in Auburn history.
Yeah, injured a year ago, not in this football game, came back. We saw him really against Penn State. Remember that hit he had against Sean Clifford early in the game? He's a bruiser. Former 5-star, playing his best football, the Auburn people say.
Cameron Latu, the tight end, was in motion, and the throw on a wheel route. Gibbs can't handle it, or he might have been gone. There was some open space out there for sure.
And Gibbs knew he was going to be wide open with the blitz this time. As soon as he breaks, he knows he's got it. Nobody on him. And a perfect throw would have been a tough tackle to bring him down in a lot of open space. Bridges was the only one back there that had a chance on him.
So third down and 6. That's the first. There's only been one time when Bryce Young hasn't converted while passing on third down. He's set to do it again. Got some pressure up the middle, but he is incomplete that time. Trayshawn Holden couldn't hold it. And Bryce Young said, that one's on me.
First time this Auburn front has dialed an extra blitzer. They brought 5 this time. The 4-down lineman and the linebacker comes to make it just a little less time. Had to decide, had him open, but just hurried Bryce Young just a bit, and they got the third down stop.
So James Burnip in to punt. And Auburn's going to get it back. Trailing by 3 scores. But they scored the last time they had it after a 75-yard drive. And picked up at the 10-yard line, and saving some yardage there and picking up about 10 on the return was Keontae Scott.
Confident guy. He's still saying, never touch the last one.
The other ball. Now that one he scooped up and got it out to the 20.
That's how you touch it. We're 2-1. And I'm heavy on the we, the other guys.
That would be a feather in the cap of the Boilers if they are in the Big Ten championship game. That's pretty good. Here comes Tank Bigsby. As we approach the 4-minute mark. Invesco brings you today's Scholar Athletes. Killian Zierer for Auburn and Seth McLaughlin for Alabama. Invesco proud to support student athletes on and off the field with a donation of $1,000 to both Auburn and Alabama's general scholarship funds. Auburn looking to put another drive together like the last time they had it, but time is of the essence with less than 4 to go and then 15 more. Now the direct snap, Tank Bigsby on the Wildcat goes for a first down.
And I will say this, as Cadillac told Jenny, we're not going to be making those pre-snap mistakes, and they haven't. They've got it. The machine is working better, and they're much more obviously effective when they're not beating themselves.
Tank Bigsby came into this game 7th on the all-time Auburn rushing list, closing in on 3,000 for his career. And he's got 63 on 13 carries today. First down, Auburn at its own 34. Now it's Robbie Ashford with a run all the way to the quarterback. And he's going to get 10 more.
One drive at a time. Still a lot of football to be played. Ryan Young gets inside, but Ashford's outside before he can do anything about it.
He is quick. First down from the 44. Behind Jarquez Hunter, Ashford cuts it up in the middle, and he's got another 10-yard run. Jenny Dell with an injury update for us.
Alabama without linebacker Dallas Turner right now. He came off the field limping, spent 5 minutes in the injury tent, and is on the bike. Jalen Moody just came over and said, keep moving on the bike. Don't let it get still. Guys, it's a lower body injury. He is questionable to return.
Yeah, he did it on a nice play, too, where he made the tackle. Right. So Auburn into Alabama territory at the 46 for another first down. And again, Hunter with toe bringing him down.
Finishing out his career tonight. Saw him senior day. Ends up making the tackle late.
Came in with 81 tackles. He had 9 in this game last year. Of course, started his career at Tennessee, so we've seen him be a star at 2 different SEC schools.
Yep.
Second and 6. They need to get to the 36 for a first down. Ashford wants to throw this time, and he's going deep, middle, too far in front of Omari Kelly.
It was a pretty good matchup that time for Auburn. Kelly on Brian Branch, a hybrid, strong safety, star player that plays the slot. But if you're going to go against a man-to-man player, that's who I would pick. Got him one-on-one, no help, post, just a bit overthrown.
So now, huge third down right here. Henry To'oTo'o's got a cut above his nose on that last tackle he made. Jarquez, Hunter, did he get there? I don't think so. Well, maybe. The spot looks pretty good now.
He did. I thought he bounced over the play, but you're right, he did get a pretty good spot. Let's see if it stays as good. Good blocking that time. Tight end comes out, does a nice job. Deal again, number 86. Yeah, I thought he bounced across and was just short of the yellow line, if that's accurate.
Then I saw the official come down the line, and they have already moved the chains.
I think they go back, though.
Yeah. Under review. Right about there, his elbow's down.
I think he's a good half yard short.
So Ken Williamson having a look upstairs with Dave Almond, our replay official. Robbie Ashford says, I don't know if I got a first down or not, but I cut my elbow on the landing. It didn't take too long with this one either.
I know, but it's nice grass out there. It's not turf.
The runner is ruled down at the 36.5-yard line. That's short of the line to gain. Therefore, it'll be fourth down.
So that was 3rd and 6 from the 42. They got it just inside the 36, but fourth down.
Yep.
Gotta have this one.
Almost a yard.
Now there's been times they've used that I backfield with Schenker, the fullback in the I, and Ashford under center. There's been times where he's been in the shotgun. Let's see what they come out with. Alabama changes their personnel up and gets a bigger body in there as they bring Otis in on the defensive front. And they come up with a loaded backfield. They fake it. Ashford going to try to get to the corner, and he got there and then some.
Man, he's got wheels, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
At first, I thought that Alabama had this outflanked, and it would be a tough run because Brian Branch at the bottom gets caught up, but inside out, no one can get there.
Yeah, Deontay Lawson just couldn't make up the ground because number 9's too fast on that edge. So first down, Auburn. They keep the drive alive. 4 straight games with over 250 yards rushing. But will it be enough? They're still 3 touchdowns down. Ashford keeps this one and maybe should have given it to Bigsby. To'oTo'o, who spent a little time on the sideline, is back in there to make the tackle, and he's still bleeding.
Yeah, but linebackers are supposed to have
that's
taped up nose like that.
They're supposed to look like that. Nitschke, Butkus, those guys, they all had that. Maybe a new Band-Aid during the timeout that's ended the third quarter. The lights will go out. The phone lights will come on. The fourth quarter will commence when we come back. 21. Auburn driving, though. They started this drive 10 plays ago at their own 21-yard line. Used the last 4.5 minutes of the third quarter. And now they start the fourth quarter with a 2nd and 10. And another flag to start a series and a drive.
False start.
And a quarter.
Offense number 4. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
That one's on Bigsby. 6th penalty. Well, he got through the third quarter, Carnell did. He said we won't have any of that.
That's the think part of it. That's not the believe part. That's think.
So that puts him in a hole again.
We'll
Second down and 15.
What he promised Jenny his football team would do, they have. They have fought.
Yep. Toss, trying to find the handle is Bigsby. By the time he found it, he's run out of bounds and about a half-yard loss. Deontay Lawson pushed him out.
Yeah, but it was strung out really well by that whole defensive team. Little pitch, little bobble. Did that slow him down just enough that Bigsby couldn't get to the corner?
Took his eye off things, that's for sure. And that's 3rd down and long. Lawson, who made the play, comes out. Big 3rd down for Auburn. Ashford, quarterback draw. He found a seam somehow. Not to the first down marker yet. He's about 3 yards shy, but I think there's a face mask at the end of the play, and that'll give him a first down.
Boy, Will Anderson flashed inside very quickly. I don't even know if it was a quarterback draw, Ness. I'm not sure because Will Anderson got in there so fast he had to run.
Penalty's going to be on Brian Branch.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 14.
Wow. 3rd
Half the distance
and
to the
very
goal,
long.
and an automatic first down.
It's at the end of the play when he's trying to backpedal for the last 3 yards, and Branch just grabs him by the face mask to bring him down.
Will Anderson, top of the screen. Watch him flash in. I guess it was a called quarterback draw. You're right. It happened so fast. I think Will flashed him so quickly. Boy. 3rd and 15 quarterback draw.
And now Wildcat take big
another
speed.
one.
And this is going to be on Schenker, I think.
Uh-oh.
Offside, defense number 31.
I take it back.
A movement by the defense caused the offense to react. The penalty is 5 yards. It remains
You
first
could see
down.
the way he was looking at it. Said, uh-oh, that it was going to be called. Will Anderson is going, what? Let's see what happened here.
Looked like they took off together.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was close.
Well, Will Anderson will just try to reload now as it's Tank Bigsby.
Yep, Wildcat.
They can get a first down inside the 2. It's 1st and 5. Bigsby, far side, collision over there with To'o. He only got about a yard, and he pushes Will Anderson, too, as part of the tackle.
Yeah, Will Anderson a good job of eating 2 blockers at the end of the line of scrimmage. He takes on 2 and allows To'o to get there and string it out. It's not, the grade on Will Anderson is not just a pass rusher. He plays the run as good as anyone also, and that allows the flow of that defense to get there.
You saw Bigsby try to give him a little shove at the end once he was out of bounds. Second and 5. Low snap. And down on one knee to handle it is Ashford at the 10. Oh, boy. That'll drive you crazy, whether you're an interim coach or not.
I think Cadillac afterwards were going, this head coaching drives you crazy, right? Holy cow.
Well, the snap was not good.
That catchable just to his left a bit and then got run over by Tank. Cadillac dying with every play. Remember, Auburn can get a first down at the 2-yard line.
It's 2-down territory with 9 to go. Ashford down the middle, broken up at the goal line or at the 1-yard line by DeMarco Helms, intended for Schenker.
Yeah, tight end crossing. DeMarco Helms does his job. He finds the tight end coming across the field, anticipates the throw, and undercuts it nicely.
And they bring out the field goal unit to try to get something out of this drive.
Oh, it's a fake. It was going to be a potential fake. The Auburn player is lined up way wide to the right side of the field.
He's way over by the sideline. Now he's coming back in.
Yes.
That's Shanker. And that's going to be a 27-yard field goal attempt if it's a field goal attempt from the right hash for McPherson. And now we got whistles.
Play a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Nice work out.
So Auburn comes out with a field goal look, but they're trying to run a fake with Shanker lined up real close to the sideline. He's out there now, but at first there was no one out there. They just couldn't get it snapped fast enough. Alabama adjusted smartly, and then I think in my mind an odd field goal attempt. I would have gone for it right there before, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's going to be a 32-yard attempt by Alex McPherson. And he got it. So Auburn gets something out of that. But they only cut the lead to 42-24. Including these cool drone shots. Bryant-Denny Stadium brought to you by Goodyear. So a 7-minute drive. Gary only netted Auburn 3 points.
Yeah, Nate. You need, I guess, you go 8-8, and a field goal could win it if you get the ball 3 times. And to do that, they're going to have to stop them quickly.
Right. And the rain has started. And we thought we were going to be able to get Jenny Dell to the iCruiser, our CBS bus, without being wet. That apparently is not going to happen. Jahmyr Gibbs from the 2-yard line. And he got out to the 25, brought down there. It's a game of honor and one that we are always proud to bring you every year. Philadelphia will be the setting for the annual Army-Navy game presented by USAA, Saturday, December 10th, right here on CBS. 2 weeks from today, we'll see you in Philly.
Navy and Army both had big wins. Beat UCF and beat UConn. 2 good wins for Army and Navy. They'll be ready to play.
Yep, always are.
Well, let's see. 3 and out or turnover, right? That's the plan for if you're Auburn. Can Alabama put a drive together?
Keep it on the ground. McClellan. Auburn does a nice job stretching it out. Papel brings him down after a short game.
Would have to say that the rain has to help the Auburn defense a bit. You know, how aggressive do you want to be throwing the ball as the rain is starting to come down?
Nothing really bothers that guy, though, too much. It's funny, his expression never changes unless he's smiling.
No.
Otherwise, it's just cool all the time.
Got the ball on the 3-yard line last year. It didn't change.
That's right. And he completes it to Latu, first down at the 45.
Yeah, his confidence to throw the ball over the middle and attack the middle of the field. Linebacker standing right there. Latu is going to come right over the middle. Reads this linebacker. Once he passes him, he knows he's got him. Boom, right in the hole of how you attack those zone defenses.
Got a guy down for Auburn, Jalen Simpson, the safety. Bryce Young has a word with him to come over and see if he's okay. We'll be right back. But he has looked all the part of the Heisman Trophy winner that he was a year ago. Welcome back, everybody. Brad and Gary here. Jenny down on the field. You know, you take away that last drive, second quarter, first drive, third quarter. It's a really tight ball game then. That's a lot of should-have.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's right. Well, style points are going to come important now for Alabama. If there is a conversation how this game ends, does Auburn continue to close? Do they overtake them? Or does Alabama pull away and give one last look for the judges to say, we're playing good forward? So how this game ends is very important if there is a discussion about that 4th spot.
Gibbs gets into Auburn territory to the 49. You're talking about what is the path? Well, the chaos theory, this is the kind of things that would have to happen. Clemson already lost today. Alabama's got to win this one.
Right.
And USC's got to lose either the Notre Dame or the Pac-12 title. LSU's got to lose to A&M tonight, or maybe to Georgia in the championship game next week. And right now, TCU's doing their business. They still got the Big 12 championship.
And there was a thought that, if Clemson won out, they could bypass Alabama. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
So that's one of the things that has happened in Alabama's favor.
So that's what we were talking about earlier today when we said there's still a possibility, and that would have to be the scenario.
And of course, the margin of victory by Michigan at Ohio State will leave. There was a lot of thought that if it's a close game, both will get in.
Yeah.
Maybe they will. I'm not sure. Both have had good long seasons, just one loss. Bama's had two. Their argument is 2 last play of the game.
Right. 4 points, 2 games, last play. Coach Saban usually doesn't say that kind of stuff, but he did say that to us the other day. Young. And a wheel route out to his tight end again, a big fella. Oots, Robbie Oots, getting some work today, number 45.
Again, this was a home run call, though, by Bill O'Ryan. He wanted to go deep and throw it, but he trusts the quarterback. If it's not there, do not give me a bad play. Covered well enough, drops it off, positive play. You'll get more and more home run calls if, when it's called, you bail out the play caller and don't make it a disaster.
Got it to the 30-yard line. Now 9.5 to go. A little delay by McClellan, and he weaves his way for 5 more yards. Cam Riley with the tackle.
I mean, it does appear as we just continue this talk, right there. Past John Parker Wilson.
He's past the 8,000 mark. He's got 75 touchdown throws.
Does have a year left if he wants to come back and get AJ. Okay.
Exactly.
Or he could.
Don't see that happening. But
well,
as we said at the open of the show, they're juniors, he and Will Anderson, but we anticipate that they'll be playing at the next level next year. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, nice tackle.
Sure was. Good stop by Caleb Wooden.
Looked like Gibbs had a clear path. Ekyar gets a good block inside. Laughlin does, but wrapped up. Good arms. Don't just throw the body, bring your arms.
Oh, Colby Wooden and now Caleb Wooden from the secondary with a nice stop. 3rd down and 3. Need to get to the 20-yard line.
A lot of space at the top up there, one-on-one. Snuck up at the end, didn't he?
Bryce Young's going to move his tight end Latu in and throw over the middle. 1st down. And Isaiah Bond has got it down around the 17.
That's the 2nd time he's basically been saying, if I have the wheel route, I'll take it. But I've got that receiver coming in the crossing route right behind it. That's a little bit of that West Coast offense that really was made famous, with Bill Walsh, Joe Montana, and kind of how Bryce Young plays. A little bit like Joe Montana, does he not? Always calm, always in control.
Back in the red zone for the Tide. Trying to ice this one away. Gibbs slips on his own and loses about a yard. Wooden and Pappo right there were ready to greet him, but he slipped and fell on a field that's getting a little damp.
Gets to the edge. Pappo's right there. Not going to get around him, is he? And then when he tries to cut, right out from under him.
Now we're down approaching the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, and over a 5-minute drive here. That's the key. Look at that, 5-10.
Young gets it to Bond again. And it's going to bring up 3rd down. And a flag.
Holding, offense number 65. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3-second down.
J.C. Latham, the right tackle, the guilty party.
Yeah, he got beat inside that time. Ekyar gives him a shove in the back, and Latham goes, he'd have hit Bryce Young. I had to grab him. What do you want me to do? Ekyar goes, what are you doing holding that situation? I go, he beat me inside. I had to grab him.
Yep.
There he is. Cadillac saw it. He wanted the call.
Cadillac is getting a workout over there on that sideline. Empty backfield now. Bryce Young all by his lonesome on 2nd down and 20.
And then indicator again Auburn bumps out with their corner on the running back, so Bryce Young knows it's zone and he can hit the stop route. See if he can find it.
Over the middle, intercepted.
Did he drop it?
Papo, does he have it? The umpire says he does. First mistake today for Bryce Young.
Yeah, I don't know if it hit the ground or not. I thought I saw the ball move. Let's see. Papo wins the battle. Does he make the catch? Can't see anything there, can you?
He's doing a great job of covering it,
Yes.
I'll tell you that much.
Let's see from this angle. Do we see the ball go down and hit the ground?
His elbows and hands are under it. I think he's got it. Well, a little movement right there.
Yeah, the ball turned. Right at the end. Hit the ground, and then the ball turned. He has to control it through the ground.
And they're going to take a look at it. We'll take a look at it too and let you know when we come back. It's sponsored by Gillette, the best a man can get. GMC Sierra. USAA. And by Invesco QQQ. Let's bring in Gene Steratore after this call. Hold on.
Everyone on the field stands. First down, Auburn.
Okay. Gene, we had a chance to look at it. You had a chance to look at it. The interception by Papo.
Yeah, really close. And my feeling, Brad, is that when he possesses this ball and he's down right there with his elbows on the ground, the ball secure, they've evidently, and I agree with it, they finished the play at that point and they have disregarded the extra bump after he was clearly down with firm possession. I like the stands play. I think sometimes we get a little too far down the rabbit hole with frame-by-frame ball move. It's a catch. He's down. Interception. Let's play football.
All right, here we go. We're going to play football with 6:36 to go. Auburn a chance to make this a game. And on the direct snap to Jarquez Hunter, a loss on the play.
I feel that on this play, Bryce Young thought his tight end would beat the linebacker and win the battle. But Owen Papo wins the battle. And that's what makes the opportunity for the interception. I thought the ball moved, but Gene's explanation makes sense, I guess.
Fifth interception of Bryce Young on the year. And again, they go Wildcat. No, they don't. It's under center for Ashford, and the toss to Hunter. Trying to get to the edge. Jarquez brought down as he crossed the 20 by Jordan Battle.
Watch Henry To'oto'o do exactly what you're taught as a linebacker. Somebody has to turn the play inside. And on this play, Henry realizes he's the only guy left, so he overruns it and expects his teammates to be there. Good team defense.
Ryan Branch came up limping after being part of that tackle, and I don't think he's 100% right now. I don't know if Auburn can take advantage of that or not. He's still trying to bend that knee over there at the 28-yard line. Quarterback draw. This time Alabama's waiting for him. It was To'oto'o that got first contact, and then he got help from his friends, including Chris Braswell.
Yeah, and I don't think Auburn has any choice now. They have to go for it on fourth down, and whatever happens, they live with it. Henry To'oto'o takes on that blitzer and then reacts to the scrambling quarterback.
Fourth down and about 7 to go, but they have no choice because we're under 5 minutes. They might not see the football again if they don't convert.
Nick Saban's going to take a timeout, I
believe. Pete Golding will wrap his defense around him over there in the huddle to see what they come up with on a fourth down, and we'll find out with you. Senior day, Henry To'oto'o makes some of the big plays, made a lot of them, ran wild on the Buckeyes. Here, Alabama the big lead over Auburn in the 87th meeting of the Iron Bowl, and this might be the last chance for the Tigers. Fourth down itself. Robbie Ashford's going to face a blitz, it looks like here. Here they come.
I think Alabama's got
and the ball is out. Ashford picks it up. Still in play. Robbie Ashford throws late, and it's complete.
Doesn't matter. Alabama had 12 men on the field if it's incomplete. lined up with 12 after a timeout. What a mistake by Alabama.
A remarkable job by Ashford just to keep the thing alive. And the officials with a conference over at the 25-yard line. Here's the call.
Illegal substitution on defense. 12 in the formation when the ball is legally snapped. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 4th down.
I believe that's the 11th penalty for over 100 yards against Alabama. That's been one of their problems that Coach Saban has been trying to correct all year.
And just think about that. I mean, you got up here, you've got 4 players, rushers, 3 linebackers, and of course, 5 defensive backs. After a timeout, which is the most brutal.
So, 4th down now and 3. And the rain coming down a little heavier. That's not going to help Auburn too much either. Need to get to the 28-yard line. The run by Ashford, and he's got it. Robbie Ashford, 1st down run. Auburn keeps it alive.
Lost our power for about most of this play, Ness.
31-yard run by Ashford.
For the 1st down. Remember, this thing was basically over, but Alabama kept it alive with 12 men on the field.
Right. Jarquez Hunter now heading to the edge. And he stepped out of bounds, but a nice gain on the play. So 4 minutes to go. Auburn not giving up. Now they're set with 3:47 and the clock winding. 2nd down at 4. Ashford throws complete to the 25, and backpedaling out of bounds is Shedrick Jackson.
I'll tell you, Robbie Ashford has had a decent day throwing the ball.
Yep.
There's a lot to build on going forward for this guy. A bright future ahead of him. He's got a lot of skill. He's a big-time competitor. If he gets better as a passer.
Wants to dump one over the middle to Jarquez Hunter. Hunter trying to get away and did. And got about 9 before To'o landed on him.
You know, Ness, what I was surprised about is the Alabama coaches knew they had 12 men on the field. Why they just didn't burn another timeout. College ball, you are allowed to go back-to-back timeouts. We've seen it on field goal tries. They could have bought themselves the mistake and got out of it.
As it is, the Tigers still driving. 2nd and 1. Ashford swarmed under by Will Anderson.
First sack of the game by either team.
And for him, the 34th of his career.
Will Anderson pushed his guy. Actually, he shoved Shearer back into him and actually sacked him before Will Anderson touched him. That was great bull rush by Will Anderson. Got all the moves, the spin, the speed, and the bull rush.
3rd down and 7. Clock moving. Ashford flushed out of the pocket again, throws on the run and throws it away. 4th down. So they picked up a 4th down on Ashford's run. Now they've got 7 more to go to try to keep this football game going.
So the mistake that last time for Alabama is one group of players thought it was a 3-man line. It ended up being a 4-man line. Now they've got this defense back out there with 6 defensive backs. Last time they had 6 defensive backs with 4 defensive linemen. This time they're doing 3-2-6. They got it right.
4th down in the ball game. And the play clock down to 1 second. Did they get it off? I don't think so.
I think Auburn called a timeout.
Timeout, Auburn.
Would not have got it off. Just before the snap, Cadillac Williams called timeout.
State Football Championship. Action kicks off 7:30 Eastern Friday night on CBS Sports Network. Here we're down to a 4th and 7, and the field goal unit is out for Auburn. Alex McPherson will try from 39 yards out. Again, with the rain coming down, see if McPherson can knock this home. To cut into the lead a little bit more. And he does. That makes it 42-27. Still 2 minutes and change remaining. Before we're done today, we'll have the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Well, they got 3 points out of a 4.5-minute drive that went 60 yards. It's a 2-score game, and we know what's coming here. Big hop right to Ja'Cory Brooks, and he might take it out of bounds. On the hop, one of his better catches of the day.
Well, you saw the strategy employed by Auburn and Cadillac Williams. They wanted to get the 3 onside kick and score 2 more times. You know, I mean, everybody's got their way of doing it. I would have gone for no field. I wouldn't have tried the field goal on either last 2 possessions for Auburn. They just picked up 31 yards on the last 4th down play that they ran. I thought they should have gone for it both times.
And now Auburn can only stop it twice. Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs in the Alabama backfield. Just 2 minutes, 4 seconds away from a 10-win season again. Gibbs for about 4.
Well, yes, you know, Bama may not make the playoffs, and there's been 4 other times they have not made it under Nick Saban, but they bounced back pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say. This is what you spent all your time last night on.
2008, 10, 13, and 19. They came back pretty nicely. Will they have to do it again?
Think of 2023. Bryce Young passed the 8,000 passing yard mark today, and 75 touchdowns with his 3 today. There's the smile we're talking about. Not changing expression unless it's that big smile.
I mean, his year he played this year just as amazing as last year's. They just won more games last year, right?
Exactly. Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs, this might be a touchdown, and it will be. Alabama scores with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Believe me, when you're looking at these games, maybe 3 weeks from now when they're deciding, okay, 2 weeks from now when they're deciding the committee, the score will pop up, and this last touchdown will mean something when they start discussing Alabama.
24-yard romp for Jahmyr Gibbs. His 7th rushing touchdown. And Alabama knows that that's going to ice it. But as Gary said, the style points never hurt.
Yeah.
Number 49's coming up right here.
You can argue they shouldn't matter, but they do. They always do.
49-27. Just a short drive, remember, on that onside kick. Ja'Cory Brooks took it down the sideline to set him up at the 27-yard line. And then a couple of All-American types had a little celebration there in the Alabama backfield.
They've won a lot of games, and Nick has said to us when he came in, we lost 2 games last play. Okay?
Right.
They won 3 games last play, too.
That's true.
But when you come to Alabama, maybe it's not fair to judge, but that's what you judge Alabama by, playing for a national championship. That's why every guy came to this program, to get in the hunt to play for the national championship.
They won them in 9, 11, 12, 15, 17, and 20. And they're about to be 10-2. And the slim hope that maybe they can somehow sneak in to the playoffs still alive. But we still got a 1:48 to go here for Auburn as well. But they're down 22.
So I think the Auburn fan is proud of how they played this game.
Should be.
Very proud of Cadillac Williams, as we said in the open, what he brought. But it does appear there's a lot of names still floating around, and Hugh Freeze's name is popping up pretty strongly right now, isn't it?
Right. This will be a return from the 1-yard line. Ooh, big hit. At about the 23 and out to the 25. Let's take a look at the GMC.
There were a few names that were battered around, and everybody's been speculating for 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, right?
Game changers, the two guys we started the game with. They always are game changers. Number 9, there's a lot of special moments, including a trot in there, and then 3 touchdown passes in the air. And Will Anderson stretching things out. Has the only sack today of Robbie Ashford. And this particular play, well, that wasn't the one, but he did get a sack on Ashford. So those two guys have been game changers for 3 years for Alabama.
Will Anderson played a lot in that championship team as a true freshman back in 2020. Bryce Young not been able, maybe if he turns pro, might not have a chance. Still alive in my opinion, but Henry To'oTo'o plays right to the last play, doesn't he?
Doesn't he ever? That rib cage of Robbie Ashford's not going to feel the same tomorrow morning after that hit on the sideline. Second down and 9. Auburn from its own 26. Here's the end around to Hunter, trying to find a place to cut back to, and does. Now he's got some blockers. Jarquez Hunter all the way to the 47-yard line.
Well, Chris Braswell, number 41, turned it back. He did his job to the outside right there. Turns it back. But Jarquez Hunter's just a little better right there.
Number 27 picked up 27. So they're back in Alabama territory. Down to 1:14 and the clock running, though. Ashford. Step out of bounds. Anderson makes sure that he did. A loss of about 5.
And I think that this time he's limping. What is it? His left ankle bothering him. Took a hit in the rib cage from Henry To'oTo'o, and now it's the left ankle. Has carried the ball, what is a runner, 16 times. Throwing 22 times. He's been a big part of the offense.
Sure has. Now we're under a minute. Auburn only has 1 timeout remaining. Anderson, To'oTo'o coming, incomplete pass. Anderson was getting the heat again on that left side that time. And To'oTo'o was coming from the right. There they are.
Yeah, Will Anderson, he knows one speed as well, doesn't he?
Even in practice, he knows one speed.
Since the day he walked on campus.
Third down and 15. Ashford goes down again. To'oTo'o is the final guy to clean up. But he got a lot of help from Jamil Burroughs.
Yeah, you wonder if when Robbie Ashford tried to turn on the Jets, there was no fuel left. Because he's a hurting puppy right now. 4-man rush with a spy. Overwhelms him and nowhere to go.
That was Burroughs, number 98. They got a hand on him, and then number 10 cleaned up. And it looks like that's going to be the ball game. There will not be a 4th down. There will be a Band-Aid for Henry when it's over.
That's how linebackers are supposed to finish games, looking like that.
And the clock stopped with 5 seconds. Celebration begins at Bryant-Denny Stadium for a lot of the seniors who won't see this field again, and probably some juniors who won't see this field again. And there's the wave.
Oh, that's a big signal, isn't it?
I think so. Sure seems like it. A fond farewell, if that's it, for Bryce Young. What a career at Alabama. What a game again today. And Will Anderson celebrating with his defensive teammates.
And another 10-win season for Alabama.